Welcome to Here's How We Get There. It's the daily show filled with conversations about business and mental health in a down-to-earth style with real-world language. Now let's dive in with your co-hosts, Kenneth Shark Kinney and Trey Tucker.
All right, Trey, I don't have a Bible verse this Sunday, but I do have a lesson. And I was watching a news story talking about the Lewiston, Maine shooter. Now, luckily, the shooter is no longer with us. Our thoughts and prayers are with everybody in that community affected by it. But there was a lady named Versie Churchill, who was a Lewiston, Maine resident. And she was talking about being caught up in this. And she was she spent an hour and a half hiding in a church after a Bible study. And she went on to express a lot of concern for the town and the residents. But one of the quotes she said in this story, and it reminded me when, God forbid you do have to go through any kind of turmoil or trauma, like something like an active shooter. But she said something that really resonated with me. She said, we spent some time singing some very peaceful songs. It was an attitude, an atmosphere of peace there, which we were thankful for, feeling like God did that for us. And he gave us the peace that we needed through a very traumatic time. And so the whole point of this story is, if you are affected by something like this, the silly example I'm going to use to compare this to, and my own mother went through this. She was, held at knife point. My parents were hijacked 100 years ago. I've been through something similar to this, but I often think about this when I'm diving around sharks. I kind of collect that moment of peace. And it's why the expression is there's no atheists in foxholes. But if you're ever in a traumatic situation, if you ever feel like you just need help, obviously if it's professional help, reach out for professional help, but it never hurts you to reach inside, look up to God, and turn to prayer. I mean, even Abraham Lincoln said when his own son died that he fell to his knees in prayer because he had nowhere else to go. But that isn't necessarily a meaning that you don't have anywhere else to go. It is the obvious place to go for a lot of people. So take the moment, and it doesn't mean, obviously we want you to take care of yourself if you're in that kind of situation, but don't hesitate to reach out to God and ask him for help, because that's what he's there for. What do you think?
Yeah. Peace is what he's offering, especially in times like that. I mean, just undescribable times like that. The verse that comes to mind for me is that the Lord is close to the brokenhearted. And that means he understands. He's right there with you. And in a lot of cases, he's right there in you. So if we'll turn to him, you and I both are not guaranteeing that there's just going to be some flip of a switch and everything's fine. That's not reality. Mm-mm. However, a relationship, whether it's with God or with a person, gets deepened and built even stronger through times of trouble, because those are the times you realize, hey, I can trust God, or I can trust this person. So if we can't do it alone, let's reach out to him first and other people that can support us as well.
Yeah, this is not to supplant anyone else's feelings, knowing that if you were actually in this, I'd go grab a gun, a knife, and everything else to protect me and the loved ones around me. But if you can't, and this woman looked like she was at least 70, 75, she's probably in a better place talking to God. See you on the other side.
Thank you for joining Shark and Trey on the Here's How We Get There show. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show, and visit here'showwegetthere.com. That's here'showwegetthere.com.